Hello and welcome back to one of many pleased today. I'm back with IxSHE. Apparently my mouse is slowly but surely dying. I keep having to click multiple times for it to actually do shit. That's probably not very good. Anyways. I talked yesterday about the whole EOCS thing. And since yesterday I was trying to think of what to say on it. Then I noticed a video that's got uploaded on his second channel, and yeah, honest to God, it's just everything's been said there. All I could say is just spread the word. Don't let YouTube get away with their bullshit. And yeah. Also, Signy's second channel is actually also terminated now because they found out that it's linked to a channel that has already been terminated. So that's great, isn't it? By great, I mean fucking bullshit. Anyways. Hey, Kasumi! Since she was walking at such a leisurely pace, I was able to catch up to her shortly after exiting the classroom. Nothing wrong, but I promised you I'd go to the cafeteria and eat with you today. Don't worry, we have our overqualified vice president for that. So, can I come with you? I do. I insist on having lunch with you. Maybe to hide her embarrassment, or maybe to vent her anger on me, she lightly hits me with her shoulder. I reply by also lightly nudging her shoulder. Boop. She does so again. This time she keeps contact after the nudge instead of separating. Can't return the gesture this way. Well, we're in the hallway right now. She's still upset at me. Sorry. Fuck. Thanks. Yeah, I'm the same way, Kasumi. Obvious so much that I'd never want you to hate me. She still seems a bit upset, but the tone of her voice is... but the tone of her voice, at least, is back to normal. The thing from this morning was also a total misunderstanding. You understand that, right? True, I sure would have been if the situation was reversed. I'm really sorry, I'll be more careful in the future. I will! Just not at school, please! Come on. Still mad at me, aren't you? What are you, 10 years old? Okay, then I guess you won't forgive me and we won't be eating lunch together, but I'm still gonna follow you around. I'm gonna eat while looking at your face. Sure, I'm still following you either way. Okay, then I'm going back to the classroom. Grip. Then when I wanted to turn around, she grabs me. Why are you stopping me? That's true. I guess I'll eat lunch while looking at your face then. What kind of fight is this? Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's already forgiven me though. Thus we sat together at lunch without saying a word, but looking at each other. Someone texted me, apparently. I think it's about time to wrap things up here. Thanks to the help of Shiori and the other girls, we've completed 2/3 of the spots where lights needed to be changed. At this rate, we'll be done tomorrow, even without their continued help. It does seem like it's about to rain, though. Heavy clouds loom in the sky. It's even darker out than it usually is at this time of day.
そういえば天気予報で雨って言ってましたね。
Wait, seriously? At what time approximately?
早ければ夕方くらいから深夜にかけてだったはずですけど。
So it's probably gonna start soon then. Could always just make a beeline for the dorm right now. Hey Yuki, and you too, of course, do you have a moment?
どうしたの？
Did you bring umbrellas?
持ってきてないよ。私は折りたたみがありますわ。って、うわー、めっちゃ雨降りそうじゃん。
Senpai doesn't have an umbrella, and Yui lives a decent way out, so I should let them leave before it starts raining.
でも、モカちゃんは傘持ってるだろうし、最悪入れてもらえばなんとかなるよ。持ってるけど、私も折りたたみだから二人も入れるかな。
Alright, I'll take care of the cleanup by myself. You girls can go on home. You and Yomabuki as well, Shiori.
はじめは傘ある？
No, but the dorm's close by, so I'll be
で
fine.
も制服濡れるよ。なら全部脱いでカバンに入れてきちゃえば？全裸で走ってくればセーフ。
Yeah, and get my ass arrested while I'm at it. There should be enough lost and found umbrellas in the faculty room.
でも先輩に片付け任して帰るのは申し訳ないんで、俺も。
私だって副会長なんだから。
I'll be fine, I promise. One day when you're an upperclassman, Aqua, you can do the same for your juniors.
会長マジかっけえっす。
You have to work at the dorm too, don't you, Yamabuki? Go back and take care of that. You have work to do at the dorm too.
そんなこと言われたら帰るしかないじゃない。
I can leave Alba and Shiuri to Yamabuki, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, thanks for your help today, everyone. It's dark out, so be careful on your way back. I say goodbye to everyone and they go home. Oh man, it's already pouring out there. I return the stepladder and fluorescent lights to the office, and by the time I get back to the student council room, the rain has really picked up. Should probably ask about borrowing an umbrella when I go return the key. Since it's supposed to keep raining till midnight, I can't simply wait it out. Hello! With that in mind, I decide to get my things and go to the faculty room. I know the stuffy and I keep clicking, but it won't let me. Huh? See Kasumi in the hallway leaning against the wall and looking somewhat impatient. Why are you here, Kasumi?
はい、山吹さんにはじめさんが傘を持っていないと聞いたので、お迎えに行ってあげてほしいと。
But she shyly averts her gaze. Is Yobuki trying to give us some alone time? It's very possible, considering how proper and caring she is.
あ、本当に言われたから来たんですよ。だって、はじめさんが帰ってこないと仲直りもできませんから。
So she says, but her face tells me what she's really thinking. Thanks. Wait, I heard you sneezed. You're cold, aren't you?
いえ、そんなことありませんよ。
Let me see. Pull her close. Even touching her uniform, I can tell how cold she is. Kasumi, you're completely freezing.
反則です。まだ仲直りしてないんですから、抱きしめるのは禁止です。
Seriously, how long are you gonna keep that up? Since I know there's no one here but us, I immediately kiss her while tightly embracing her. Sorry for today. Could you please forgive me? I don't want you to have to keep this up.
はじめさん、こっちこそごめんなさい。今日の私、変に意地張ってやきもち焼いて皆さんにも心配かけてしまいました。
She holds my chest tight to get rid of all the loneliness she feels. I don't mind. It was partly my fault after all. But let's apologize to the others first. Let's apologize to the others later.
はい。でもよかったんですか？学園でキスしてしまいましたけど。
No one saw us, so we'll be fine. They're doing something I shouldn't have made me excited, but I'll have to keep that to myself. When I go inside, it's warmer in there, plus we can sip on some tea or
い
something.
いんですか？
To be honest, I just want to be alone with you right now, so no matter the pretext.
そういうことでしたらもちろんです。
Here's your hot chocolate. Be careful though, it's hot.
ありがとうございます。
It was loud in here at noon, but now the only sounds to be heard in here are the two of our voices at the end of the rain. There's nothing awkward about it. If anything, it's relaxing. What is it?
いえ、こうやって二人でココアを飲んでいると、あの時のことを思い出すなぁと思って。
Huh?
あー、でもこれ間接キスになっちゃいますね。
Oh, Beckman was trying to invite you out on our first date.
正解です。あの時ははじめさん照れちゃってなかなかキスしてくれなくて。
I was just an innocent boy back then.
今は違うんですか？
Of course not. It's easy going for me now.
じゃあ試してみましょうか。
She grins provocatively, closes her eyes, and lifts her chin in my direction. That's her mischievous nature again, I guess. I already know I'm embarrassing. She gets when I act more assertively. I realized something because of what happened today. Can't live without you, Kasumi. I can see her eyes fly wide open as we kiss. She probably wanted me to tell me something, but I think we don't need words anymore. And then they fucked! Kasumi?
なんでしょう、はじめさん。
Isn't it taking a little long for you to put your clothes on?
気づきましたか？サービスですよ。学園で彼女の下着姿が見られるなんて、これが最後かもしれませんから。今のうちに、たっぷり見ておいてくださいね。
So she says, but I've seen through her. You've been kind of struggling to put your clothes on, though, haven't you?
それは、気づいちゃいましたね。
Hey, why are you looking at me like that? This feels like I'm about to be silenced for discovering your secret or something.
実は笑わずに聞いてくれますか？
I'll do my best.
おー。
Okay, I won't laugh. I already wonder what this is about.
と言っても、大した話ではないんです。単純に、最近下着がきつくなってしまって。
She adjusts her bra to better fit her chest. Wait, are your boobs still getting bigger?
何を言ってるんですか？はじめさんのおかげですよ。
Holy shit, I'm a miracle worker. Wait, I remember her recently saying she gained weight. Was this what she was talking about? First off, can I bow down and worship your boobs?
笑わないでくださいと言いましたが、まさか拝まれるとは予想外でした。
I wonder how big they actually are. By the way, would you be comfortable telling me your cup size?
はい、いいですよ。
Seriously? To be honest, I'm not really familiar with cup sizes, but I of course know that the farther down in the alphabet you are, the bigger. So, what size are they?
ですから、いいですよ。
Huh? Oh, wait, really? E as in E cups?
はい。最初のうちはパッドで調整もできたんですが、今ではすっかりきつく。
So she's wearing E cup bras and those aren't fitting, then that has to mean they're bigger than E's. Kasumi?
ちょっと待ってください。あとちょっとでホックか。
Come to think of it, she also struggled to take it off earlier.
あまり好きではないんですが、フロントホックにした方がいいかもしれませんね。
Front hook bras? I've seen one before, but that's what makes it sound so magically enticing.
はじめさん
Front hook. That, I was just mimicking the cry of a wild front hook. Front hook, front hook. See?
満足しましたか？
Why didn't you stop me earlier? You're just letting me embarrass myself.
ですが、女性の下着そんなに気になりますか？
Yes, yes, I am.
では、はじめさんの好みも知りたいですし、近いうちにお買い物に付き合ってもらえますか？
You want me to enter a woman's lingerie store? Want to get arrested? And then Kasumi says that. Like I said,
私
my
のそ
mouse
ばにい
is...
れば大丈夫だと思いますよ。
Damn, I'm already getting super
で
excited.
も興奮して、はじめさんの底、元気にしちゃダメですよ。
I won't. Even I'm not that much of a pervert.
私としては、お出かけする前に一度出してからでもいいんですけどね。
Stop it! Don't give me any weird temptations. That smile of hers, I know and love's back. It's hard to believe she was even mad at me earlier today. Wait for her to finish changing, then we head back to the dorm together.
.はじめさんが自分のパートナーに求めるものって何でしょう？
Huh? While mulling over the meaning behind her words, I chowed down on the croquette sandwich I bought at the school store. Since it was warm and sunny today, Kasumi and I decided to eat in the courtyard together. Talking is hard. What out of my partner? Where's this question coming from?
急じゃありません。前々から気になっていたんです。はじめさんは生徒会長として多くの生徒に慕われていますよね。
Guess so. I'm thankful for that.
問題解決能力があって皆さんに慕われています。実に頼れる男性だと思います。
But, okay, I don't really get where this is going, but thanks.
そんなはじめさんとお付き合いする女性にはふさわしい能力が求められるわけです。それも男性的なはじめさんと釣り合いの取れた女性的な能力がです。
I don't really care about any of that,
求
though.
めてください。
You don't have to be that insistent. But I at least understand that the issue of suitability is important to her. I mean, still, I'm completely satisfied with how you are now, Kasumi. Have fun just being with you, and seeing your smile fills me with joy. Even right now, all we're doing is munching on some sandwiches together, but this is pure bliss to me.
ダメです。そんな言葉では騙されませんから。
I really wasn't exaggerating, though.
お願いですから、今は甘やかさないでください。
Just saying that only makes me want to coddle her even more. That's how it is when you're in
意
love.
識を高く持ちましょう。
What do you mean?
ほら、本当は女性にしてほしいこととかあるんじゃないですか？
Being a productive member of society?
じゃないんですから、そんな真面目な答えはいりません。
It's not a question I can easily answer, though.
そうじゃなくて、もっと女性的なことです。いかにも女性って感じの。
Like marriage?
惜しいです。もう見えてます。火事です。
I have to admit, she's completely guiding me into that one. Like cooking?
そうです。そうなんです。やっぱりはじめさんは料理のできる女性がお好みですよね。
Huh? Why are you sighing? You're the one who made me say that!
いえ、いいんです。最初から分かっていたことですから、現地さえ取れれば。
Where's she going with this?
では、私は所用ができましたので、また教室でお会いしましょう。
You're going already?
はい、少々準備も必要になりますから。
With that, she neatly folds the wrapping of her sandwich and walks towards the school building. Come to think of it, when she was taking care of me during my cold, she seemed embarrassed of her lack of cooking skills. I can already guess what this is about, but I'd better feign ignorance.
Hajime-san, ちょっといいですか?
It's the following day. It's as soon as lunch break comes around, Kasumi approaches me, holding a bag approximately the size of a lunchbox. It's easy to surmise from our conversation yesterday that she's brought lunch for me. Or rather, she did bring lunch for me without a shadow. She did bring lunch with it for me without a shadow of a doubt. Talking is hard, okay? Let's go to the cafeteria then.
いえ、あそこは人目がありますので、できればもう少し人の少ないところが。
Should we go? Should we go to the student council room?
はい、それがいいと思います。
I'll have to get the key from this teacher's lounge first, but we'll have all the privacy we want there.
お邪魔します。
Enter the room with Kasumi following me, and I noticed her immediately lock it behind her. We're both alone in a locked room. A situation that would certainly invite misunderstandings if someone were to come by. Well, now that we're here, can you finally tell me what this is all about?
そうですよね。わざわざ鍵まで開けてもらっちゃって。
I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so tired today. Oh yeah, because I only slept like 3 hours, and then for some reason I was wide awake and couldn't fall asleep anymore. I didn't mind that, but does that have something to do with the bundle you're holding?
はい。
She averts her gaze bashfully and gives me a bundle.
はじめさんのためにお弁当を作ってみたんです。
Oh, so I was right!
やっぱりということは気づいていたんですか?
You were talking about cooking so much yesterday, so I figured it'd be something like this.
そうですか。本当はびっくりさせようと思ったんですけど。
My ear feels weird. Sorry. But nothing's better than receiving a homemade lunch from my girlfriend. It might be a cliched situation, but that's one I always dreamed of experiencing. But it's one I always dreamed of experiencing together with her.
この間おかゆを作った時、はじめさんには情けないところを見せてしまいましたし、そのリベンジと言いますか、はじめさんにふさわしい女性になるための第一歩と言いますか、だからお口に合うかはわかりませんが、ご賞味いただけると。
Sure, I don't mind if I do. After I take out the lunchbox from the bag, she hands me some chopsticks. Man, this lunchbox is seriously fancy though. It's so impressive that my expectations start to rise. As Kasumi watches on, I open the lid and am immediately greeted by the face of an animal drawn with seaweed. Oh, it's cute! Is it a tanuki?
猫です。
I already messed up right off the bat. What else do we have? Spinach saute, mini hamburger steaks, meatballs, bacon wrapped asparagus, rolled omelets, and also some cherry tomatoes. Also my favorite type of chikwa, ones with cucumber inside. The presentation, color assortment, it's all so flawless that it's hard to believe a beginner made it. In short, it's impressive. Food's not quite what I'd expect looking at the box, but it looks great regardless. Just make it just by yourself.
今日のところはなんとか。
To be honest, her effort alone touches my heart. Okay, then let's give it a taste.
どうぞ。
The way she's staring at me is really making me nervous. Starting with the spinach. The buttery smell is nice. Those are carrots and corn, that's nice.
でしょうね。
Is opposed by the listless tone. Okay, let's try the mini hamburger steaks. Yeah, these are great. Perfectly seasoned. That the ketchup is great with the rice. What? I was complimenting you! I'm kind of confused, but she's grading herself rather harshly, it seems. Next, I should try the rolled omelet. I know exactly what to expect from the taste. You're a bit too close.
どうぞお気になさらず。
That's a little hard! I should concentrate on the food she's so lovingly prepared for me. Sweet, soft, and tasty. Nothing gets a spot like a nice sweet omelet roll.
そうですよね。ちゃんとわかってますよ。
Wait, have I ever told you how I like omelet rolls?
まあまあいいじゃないですか。
Well, she probably just asked Chiori.
さあはじめさん。どれが一番美味しかったか教えてください。
But I haven't even tried the bacon wrapped asparagus.
どうぞ忘れてください。
Is that something you made yourself? Have some more respect for it! I'm afraid it isn't what I initially thought it was. She isn't simply grading herself harshly.
自分の料理だからこそ、今後のために、はじめさんがまた作ってほしいものを教えてほしいんです。
Among the foods in my lunch, there had to be one that she was most confident in. How about the hamburger steaks? Can't go wrong with meat. Where's the report button? You know, it's just when's the discuss thing gonna show up on screen? Kasumi immediately collapses onto the desk like a loveless doll. Kasumi, are you okay? Her forehead is bright red.
ハンバーグのバカ
What does she have against hamburger steaks?
ハンバーグの次はどうでしょう
They answer. Man, just end up screaming again. The spinach saute? It's not necessarily my favorite vegetable, but the buttery smell is nice and it's easy to chew. Huh?
もう二度と冷凍食品なんて買ってやるもんですか
The omelet is the only thing she herself actually made. All of this is frozen stuff?
はい、部活で私が作ったのは卵焼きだけなんです。
Now I get why she hates the hamburger steak so much. But the omelet rolls were great too. I almost felt like you're specifically crafted to please my taste buds.
もう遅いです。
She's completely sulking now, taking a bite from a hamburger steak with a bitter look.
なんで冷凍食品のくせにこんなに美味しいんですか不公平です。
I mean, it's a product they sell in stores. If it tasted like crap, they wouldn't be selling it.
そういう問題じゃありません。
She's surprisingly prideful. But look, you only just started cooking. You shouldn't let this kill your motivation.
嫌になったりしてませんよ。
I just thought the shock of losing
負
might...
けてません。私はまだ進化の可能性を残しているので、まだ負けたわけじゃありません。
Oh.
むしろ負けたまま引き下がれるわけがないじゃないですか。
Kasumi always has a positive outlook on things. That's one of the reasons why I fell in love with her. Honest to God, her route has just really improved her character for me.
でもよくわかりました。やっぱり付け焼き場じゃダメだったんです。
Meaning?
修行です。気合と根性です。こうなったら何が何でもはじめさんに美味しい料理をご馳走して喜んでもらいます。
You don't have to force yourself if you don't want to. But she merely shakes her
な
head.
んだか私、今とてもワクワクしてるんです。もしかしたらこんな気持ちは初めてかもしれません。
Well, I guess it's fine. She's doing this out of a desire to make me happy. Alright, I'll be eagerly awaiting next time.
でしたらリクエストを。リクエストしてください。はじめさんが食べたいもの、好きなもの。最近ははじめさんに甘えてばかりでしたから、今度は私が頑張る番です。
Okay! I was worried at first, but if she's this excited, I'm sure it'll turn out just fine. My favorite dishes... guess omelet rice.
オムライス？
The recipe is simple, but it also means no shortcut. But that also means no shortcuts. Think you can do it?
作ります。いえ、作ってみせます。
She's usually so reserved and soft-spoken, but right now she's burning with passion. Also, speaking of omelet rice, I also know how to make it, so if she's having problems, I'll be able to help out like last
では
time.
今晩、夕飯でリベンジさせてください。
What about the training? Are you gonna try and make it through determination and passion alone?
こう見えて私、実践派なんです。
Oh, sorry. That just makes me a million times more worried.
とにかく今日の夕飯は私に任せてくださいね。あと食べ終わったお弁当箱は教室で返してくれればいいですから。
After that, she says what she has to prepare and leaves the student council room. Not sure if I'm excited for it or dreading it. I leisurely open the rest of my lunch and leave the room after finishing it. Let's see, I need yogurt and mayonnaise. Do we still have any left? Since I have no student council work today, I make a stop and on the way back to the dorm by buying stuff for dinner. You know, you don't have to follow me around. You can go ahead and look at your ingredients for dinner tonight.
材料ですか？
Yeah, it's not like you'll need much at all to make it.
でしたらもう揃っているはずなのでご安心ください。
Huh?
休み時間にネットスーパーで発注しておきましたから。
That's some quick thinking, but honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm not buying anything for the omelet rice, though.
他にも何か作るんですか？
Yep, I still have to grab a few more things, so you can go back to the dorm without me.
確かに受け取りの時間もありますからね。それではまた寮でお会いしましょう。
Her bow is prim and proper, but the way she immediately runs off afterwards with her phone in hand gives the impression of a giddy little kid. Well, that is part of her charm. And you're in love with everything the other person does and says seems adorable. Alright, I still need this. That. She's planning on making omelet rice, so surely she bought eggs, right? Maybe I'll get something to use as a sauce. Just some fresh herbs. On stock. After I finish shopping, I noticed that the plastic bag in my hands has gotten satisfyingly heavy. It'd be boring to just watch Kasumi cook, so I'll go ahead and cook something for her as well. I'm back.
はじめさん、おかえりなさい。おかえり。
Kasumi said she already ordered everything online, so it makes sense that she's already started. What are you doing, Shiori? Cooking something yourself?
私は小清水さんのサポート。今日だって小清水さんのお弁当を食べたんでしょ？
Ah, so those omelet rolls were you?
気づいてた？小清水さんに初心者でも挑戦できて、はじめが喜びそうなものを教えてほしいって何回もお願いされたの。
That explains why the omelet rolls tasted so familiar.
師匠、それは秘密にと。
Master, she says. She's become Shiori's pupil, I guess.
そうだっけ。でも小清水さんがそこまでしてくれたって分かった方が、はじめも喜ぶんじゃない？
I can confirm, but I would have liked to know before eating the lunch.
もう。
Fuck! Kasumi, someone who has a considerable amount of pride of herself, went out of her way to ask someone who used to be her rival in love for help. It just goes to show how important I am to
と
her.
ころではじめさん、その袋は？
Kasumi and Shiori both stare curiously at the bag in my hands. Well, just some stuff. I wanted to cook you something as a reward, Kasumi, since you're really trying hard.
ああ、この材料は。
I bought more than enough so you can have some too, Shiori. But, well, it's something to look forward to later, so I'll see you in a bit. Good luck, Kasumi.
では師匠、よろしくお願いします。
Have fun, Shiori.
うん。じゃあ小清水さん、リラックスして頑張ろっか。
Of course, I wouldn't ask others to go out of their way to do something for me, but it's nice seeing how Kasumi and Shiori are working together. Especially Shiori, considering that this is the girlfriend of the person she likes. Alright, time to get down to business so I can show my gratitude to them. Today really is tough. For the milk and pancake mix, I'm adding a special ingredient to the yolk. Mayonnaise. Kasumi's worried about her weight, but I'm assuming all that increases from her breasts. I'm gonna make her so satisfied with these super fluffy pancakes that she'll forget all about dieting. After adding the pancake mix and the cooled egg white, I stir it with quick, gentle motions so that the base won't be hard after baking. I just have to let the batter rest, and then I'll almost be ready to bake. Okay, how are those two doing?
お皿にチキンライスをよそって。外で食べるものと全然見た目が違いますけど、本当に大丈夫なんでしょうか？後から形を整えればいいから、一回全部乗せちゃって。そうそう。
They seem to be almost done.
あとはオムレツを上に乗せて、ちょっとゆっくりだったけど、半熟になってるかな？大丈夫そうですね。あとは、この上のところを開いて、いい感じ。あとはパセリを振って、味付けはチキンライスでしっかりやってるから、卵にはケチャップをかけたら完成。待ってください。せっかくなので、ここでハートマークを。そこは好きにしていいよ。
Looks like I better keep out of their way. Anyways, now that the omelet is done, I take my seat and wait for the dish to be served.
はじめさん、できました。見てください。ちゃんとしたオムライスです。
Wow, it looks fantastic. Just like something I'd expect to see at a restaurant. Seeing Kasumi smiling brightly while hastily serving me the dish, I start rejoicing. It really does look delicious. A perfectly runny omelet rests on top of the bed of rice and chicken. This omelet looks cooked to perfection.
それもこれも師匠のおかげです。でも時間さえ守れば大丈夫だから、きっともう一人でも作れるよ。はい、師匠。 いえ、花森さん、本当にありがとうございました。
She bows deeply before Shiori and hands me a spoon.
それでははじめさん、早速食べてみてほしいんですけど。
Just leave the heart as is for now. Fuck. Alright, let's eat! I take a spoonful of the hard omelette rice and stuff it into my mouth. First I taste the tomato ketchup, then the gentle softness of the omelette spreads throughout my mouth. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yeah, didn't expect this. There's a cleaning video now. This is... It is very, very dusty here. And that may potentially be part of the reason why I cannot stop sniffling. You know, as somebody with a dust allergy. I had to, like, just roughly do that down there, and now just someone... Allergies are fucking annoying, man. Allergies can go fuck themselves. There you go, at least it's like roughly clean now. There you go, just put that there. I didn't want it to fall over. Anyways, be right back again. I hate my mouse. It just immediately just decided, oh no, you didn't just pause the recording. It just didn't just unpause the recording again. You immediately paused it again. Next is a subtle taste of some vegetables, the chicken and the rice. And rice appears and leaves a delicious aftertaste. I've probably fucked it up somehow. This is great.
よかったです。
Feels a bit better now. Should probably like... I got an appointment like the ear doctor or something. You made an omelet rice this good on your first try, then I think this bodes well for the future.
そうだね。実際ちゃんと手順は守れてるし、レシピ通りに作る経験を重ねればすぐに上手になると思うよ。花森さん、私。今度は一緒にお菓子でも作る？はい、師匠。
Friendship forged through cooking. Nice if we could soon have a barbecue together with everyone in our dorm and our friends. That was delicious, thanks.
え、もう食べちゃったんですか？
Yep, was just that good. Probably because of the rich and wonderful aftertaste, I was able to finish it in no
こ
time.
れで私も少しははじめさんにふさわしい女性になれたでしょうか。
Like I said, even if you couldn't cook, you'd be the best girlfriend a man could ask for. Oh,
いいよ。むしろ気にしないでくれた方が気は楽だし。
I'll have to be careful when I'm around the other girls with Kasumi. Alright, as for dinner, I'll be serving you two something as well.
そういえば、はじめさんも何か準備してましたね。手伝おうか？
Now all I have to do is bake it. You can just have a seat and wait. I heat up a pan, and as soon as it starts smoking a bit, I add the butter. After it melts completely, I cool off the frying pan with a wet cloth. For this, I'm now ready. I just gotta pour the batter into a mold and bake it slowly over low heat.
いい香り。ホットケーキ、私大好きなんです。
Nah, these aren't your normal everyday pancakes. I call them my angelic super fluffy demon pancakes.
ふわふわパンケーキつまり、カロリーを気にする女性を惑わすほど悪魔的に美味しいということですか？
Yes, indeed. Just for today, feel free to stuff yourself till your belly is as round as a pancake.
それは、楽しみないような、怖いような。そんな特技があったんだね。
Yep, it's some like an antidote for Aoba.
あー。
Shuri probably knows how my little sister acts like a spoiled brat whenever she's hungry. I flip the mold together with a batter and keep cooking it. Okay, it should be done soon. Put the pancake on a plate, sprinkle some powdered sugar on top, and add the finishing touch, a bit of vanilla ice cream on top. Okay, it's ready.
すごい！家でもこんなパンケーキができるんですね。
It should be nice and fluffy and crisp.
では早速。
Wait! I pour some syrup on this bad boy before you start eating. Yes, I know it says it, but I feel like bad boy, like it just fits better. Just to pour some of that sauce on that bad boy. I put a slightly warm syrup over the scoop of ice cream like a waterfall. The angelic super fluffy demon pancake with vanilla ice cream is now ready to be eaten.
バニラとシロップとバターのすごくいい香りが。私も食べたい。
Just a sec, Shuri. I'll bake yours right now. And I'll make more after that, so eat as much as you like.
ですが、オムライスだけで長期限になっていた私は一体。
I just made the batter and fried it. It's nothing special.
なら、今度ははじめが作り方を教えてあげればいいんじゃない？
Sure.
では、よろしくお願いしますね、師匠。
You don't have to call me master. That's enough talking. Go ahead and try it.
そうですね。せっかくですし、いただくとしましょう。
Having someone you care about eat something you made for them. Now understand why that can be such a nerve-wracking experience. How is it?
お店で食べるパンケーキと全く同じです。
Oh, really? Man, that's good to hear.
はじめ、私の。
Wait a second, I'll whip it right up. I'll whip it up right now.
こんなに美味しいなんて。
This is basically a case of Psycho's cheesecake again. Because if yes, we have a crisis on our hands.
口の中で溶けていく食感、芳醇なバターの香りとマッチしたバニラのエッセンスをシロップの甘さが優しく包み込んで、こんなに美味しいなんて。ダメです。手が止まりません。
Glad you like it. Let's make it together next
すご
time.
く嬉しそうだけど、結局小清水さんの不安は払拭されたのかな？
Looking at how content she seems, I'd say yes.
そうだね。料理の道は一日にしてならず。みんなで少しずつ練習していこっか。
Kasumi seems to be too mesmerized by the pancake to hear Shuri's words. With that, Kasumi's cooking adventure ends. Kasumi's cooking adventures end on a high note despite the initial turmoil. I'll just skip that one real quick because this should be like the final segment, which means we should really just speed through this. Kasumi holds a hand in front of her mouth and lets out a deep yawn. You getting tired?
ので、少し疲れが。
I've been studying with Kasumi-Route and Yamabuki for the upcoming finals. Taking a look at the clock, I realize it's already 11 p.m. It's getting kinda late, so maybe we should stop here for now and continue tomorrow. Is that okay with you too?
そうね。眠くなった頭で続けても効率は落ちるし。実は私も今日は結構きつかったのよね。
She proceeds to put away her mechanical pencil and immediately starts preparing to go back to her room. You okay, Shiori?
はい。元気です。
Shiori, what's your brother's
お
name?
やし。
Not exactly, though he certainly resembles one. Would you mind taking Shiori to her room for me, Yamabuki?
ええ、寮長として引き受けたわ。では、私はお二人の荷物を持ちますね。
You guys can go ahead and leave. I'll clean up everything else here. All I have to do, really, is take the plates and paper cups to the kitchen and throw them away.
それじゃあ、ここは頼むわね。おやすみなさい。おやすみなさい、はじめさん。
Yeah, good night. After the two girls walk up the stairs supporting Shiori, I clean up the eraser shavings from the table. Can't use a vacuum cleaner at this hour, so I'd better use a broom.
はじめさん。
Huh? Did you forget something? She walks forward slowly while throwing glances back in Yamabuki's direction.
そうですね。あまり人に見せるものではありませんから。
Okay?
あそこに。
Huh? Ah! As I automatically follow her eyes and look to the side, it happens. Feel something pleasantly soft touching my cheek.
おやすみなさい。
Kasumi. I see her smiling with slightly rosy cheeks, but then she goes up to the stairs without another glance back. She probably didn't want me to see her blushing. I wish she would have kissed me on the lips, though. Yeah. As much as I wanted to bask in the afterglow of that kiss, I have to hurry up and clean this up before it gets too late. I quickly clean up the plates and paper cups, go get a broom, and come back. What's this? For some reason I found an envelope on the table as I'm sweeping. Someone leave it here. Pick it up and there's no address written on it. Instead, letter for me. To Ninomina Hajime is written on the front in beautiful handwriting. What puzzles me the most is that the envelope hasn't even been sealed yet. Who was it from? I have no recollection of receiving this letter before, nor do I recognize the handwriting. If it were Kasumi-Route or Yamabuki, the three who were studying with me, I'd have immediately noticed since I already know what their handwriting looks like. Meaning it must be someone else from the dorm. There's a common area, so it theoretically could be anyone besides me, but not a single person comes to mind. I'll just keep it for now. Even if I don't know the sender, it should be okay for me to take, since it's addressed to me. Put it in my hands, along with my notebook, sweep the floor and table, then go back to my room. So the question is how to find the sender. I don't even know what the letter says. If it's something too private, I can't go around asking people randomly. Read it, and you might be able to tell. Maybe it's a love letter, but everyone should know by now that I'm dating Kasumi, so it's rather unlikely that it is one. The envelope doesn't seem the kind you'd use for a love letter, and it's also weird that it doesn't have the name of the sender on it. I guess I should probably read it. Even if it is addressed to me, reading a letter that hasn't been sent is a bit rude. But still, it's not even sealed yet. And what if whoever wrote it is looking for it now? Reading it for their sake, not mine. While telling that to myself, I slowly pulled the letter out of the envelope. Stationery, like the envelope, is a basic type meant for normal vertical letters. It's been a long time since we've last seen each other, so the letter begins. Someone who lived here wouldn't write something like that. What kind of letter is this? Getting more and more confused, but anyways, I'll go ahead and read it. Time really does fly. It's already been 10 years since then. I hope that you've been doing well, Ninomiya. I'm still unable to leave my house, unfortunately, and I greatly miss your visits. But I don't feel lonely at all. gave me hope, and now I have a clear goal to work towards. I want to get better and see you again. And when that time comes, I want to tell you how I feel about you, so I hope you will be willing to listen. Is this? Prisoner wrote this as health problems, and the only person I can think of who fits the bill is Kasumi. On top of that, she would have had to write this long before she transferred here. If the letter belongs to her, she could have dropped it off earlier while we were studying. She could have dropped it earlier while we were studying. Man, she really has a bad habit of losing important things. You may not remember me, but I hope from the bottom of my heart to see you again. Someday see you again. Koshimizu Masumi. Huh? I called it before. When she was asleep and said Nessan. Her sister's the one that was sick. All the pieces I put together scatter as I read the name on the end at the end of the letter. Who's this Koshimizu Masumi? Not Kasumi? But it's apparent that this person knows me. It can only be one thing. This is her? She has never mentioned having a sister to me directly, but if she really does, then all the dots connect. Why though? An indescribable feeling of unrest grips me. Wait, hold on. Dwelling in it won't get me anywhere. Just need to ask Kasumi directly. But should I? I'd better keep this letter safely stored for now. Huh? There's something else inside there. I'll try to put the letter back into the envelope. I noticed another letter inside that I almost damaged. Dear Kasumi. So this one is addressed to her. The one who wrote these can't have been her then. So it has to be this Masumi. But still, I can't read a letter that's meant for Kasumi, so I stow it back inside the envelope. To be honest, I want to talk with Kasumi about this as soon as possible, but since it's already after midnight, I'll have to postpone it until tomorrow. Put the envelope into a folder and leave it at my desk drawer for safekeeping. My guess is her sister is dead, and that's actually the one he visited, where it smelled like the incense. Act natural. Just act natural. I love a letter from Koshimizu Masumi that appeared out of nowhere. But it wasn't sent to me. The question is, how do I bring this up to Kasumi? It's been stressing me out so much that I woke up before 5 AM and I haven't been able to think about anything else since. But I still have no idea how to go about bringing this up casually. I definitely shouldn't act high-strung. But the longer I think about it, the more a certain question bugs me. There should have been only one girl I met as a kid. There's no question about that, and she would have mentioned something if she noticed. But from Masumi's letter and what Kasumi told me, it appears that I knew both of them. Meaning, one of them was lying. But why lie in the first place? My thoughts were always hung up on that point every time I mull it over. But Kasumi is still Kasumi. I spent time with her, I wanted to be with her. That's why I decided to go out with her. And I don't think I made the wrong decision. Just stay calm and act natural, Hajime. Try to calm myself over and over in front of the mirror before going to the lounge where I'm meeting Kasumi. Yeah, morning. Kasumi is waiting in the lounge for me with a bright smile. He's probably still feeling happy after giving me that kiss last night. I, on the other hand, feel a bit of guilt nagging at me and can't look her in the eye. Just don't think about it, Hajime.
Hajime-san? なんだか顔色が優れませんが。
Did I do something to tip her off just now?
もしかして夜遅くまで勉強していたんですか?
Oh, okay, so it looks like she still hasn't realized she lost the envelope. Yeah, I kinda have to study a lot to maintain my high grades. So I have to put in more effort than the average student. Damn, I had the perfect opportunity to bring it up, and I didn't. I'm so ashamed that I'm getting a headache.
続きは明日と言って油断させてずるいです。
True, but maybe I'll be able to help you and the other girls better now. See, it means we'll be able to spend more time together. I'm honestly surprised at how easily I churned out all those lies on the spur of the moment.
なるほど。つまりはじめさんは、もっともっと私と一緒にいたいということですね。
Yep, the more the better. The time we spent together is what forms and defines our relationship. It's what the truth is. But it's not exactly honest of me to say that I've yet to ask her about the letter. I missed my opportunity, so I'll have to wait till lunch break. While chatting about the details pertaining to our study session this evening, she and I head towards school. Man, what do I do now? I'm racking my brains as I stare at Masumi's letter on my desk. I had several opportunities at school to talk about it with Kasumi, but every time I pictured that sad look on her face and decided against it. I don't know that she lied to me just yet. For all I know, it could have just been some harmless mistake or misunderstanding that we'll laugh about later together. We're going to be studying with the others here in a bit, so if I want to talk about it with her today, I'm going to have to man up and do it. I have two options. One is to talk to her about it either before or after the study session. The other is to give her back the envelope and pretend that I didn't read it. But if I go for the latter, there's always the risk that she'll figure out I'm lying. I can't speak for other people's opinions of me, but I'm not that confident in my lying abilities. But at the same time, I was too chicken to bring it up and talk about it with her. Can't do anything right. Everyone respects me and looks up to me, but when it comes down to it, I'm a normal person with flaws just like everyone else. Okay, I'll talk to her. I could try all I want, but there's no way to make this an easy conversation. So I'll just have to accept that and confront her about it directly. Take my phone and call Kasumi. I've now been so nervous calling someone. The ringtone seems especially loud to me right now. I've been pressing my finger on the volume button this whole time, and I'm so nervous I didn't even notice.
何でしょうか?
The immediate stutter is telling.
私今探し物をしていて、すみませんが電話どころではなくて。
Did you finally notice that she lost the letter? I'm getting a bit of deja vu here. Did you lose something important again?
はい。場合によってはこの後の試験勉強も休ませていただくかもしれません。
If it was something like the pen, she would have come out and told me, so the fact that she hasn't mentioned it must mean that it is the letter. You lose important stuff a whole lot.
それについてはそうかもしれません。
It may have been a bit mean of me to say. Do you like to keep those things with you at all times? Even if you could lose them?
私はあれがないと。
I can hear a distinct fear and sadness in her voice. Can't put this off any longer, I have to tell her. Listen, I found this letter last evening. A loud noise echoes throughout the dorm and my phone speaker at the same time. Kasumi must have bolted out of her room. I hang up and show her the envelope. She sinks to the ground with all tension has been drained from her body. From this side, it's easy to imagine how important the letter is to her. Try not to lose it again. I present the envelope and she slowly reaches her hand out. Grip. Instead of taking the ladder, though, she grips my wrist.
見つけてくださったことはありがとうございます。ですが、
I can feel her arm shaking slightly. I wasn't sure if I should take it, but it was addressed to me, so... And I went ahead and read it, since I thought it might give me a clue as to who the letter belonged to. All the strength leaves her hand and she lets go.
そうですか。そうですよね。
Whoops. Believe me, I really didn't want to.
いえ、いいんです。それは、はじめさんに宛てられた手紙ですから。本来の役目を果たしただけですから。
Her eyes are glued to the ground. I should at least tell the others that today's study session is cancelled. Not wanting Kasumi to continue sitting on the floor, I take her by the hand and set her down on the side of my bed. Do you want something to drink? Hot chocolate, maybe?
ありがとうございます。ですが今はお気持ちだけで。
She smiles feebly and lets her gaze fall again. Well, I've got a few questions for you. Is that alright?
はい。私が話せることは正直に全てお話しします。ですが、手紙自体ははじめさんに宛てられたものですから、私も内容については一切知りませんので、そこだけは分かっていただけると。
Right, I trust you. The thing that's bothering me most actually has nothing to do with what the letter says. I'll get straight to the point then. Who is Koshimizu Masumi?
私の双子の姉です。
Oh, even twin. They're even twins. Okay. So she does have an older sister. What is she doing now? The letter said that she's still unable to leave her home.
姉は
She bites her lip trying to endure something.
姉はもういません。
Why is it that I called this? So, what? I was a bit delayed, but I finally get what she meant by that. I'm sorry. Really?
いえ、すべてお答えすると約束しましたから。
It's fine. It still doesn't feel real to me, but I can only imagine the pain Kasumi feels because of this. I guess we probably shouldn't talk about this anymore.
それは違います。
She clings to my chest, her eyes wide open.
すみません。ですが、確かに、この話はかなり辛いです。でもこれは、はじめさんにきちんとお話ししなければいけない話なんです。
Also, seeing as it was addressed to me, I can simply act as if that doesn't concern me. Okay? As long as it's what you want. The letter already stated so, but your sister was often sick, wasn't she?
はい。姉は昔から体が弱く、家からほとんど出ることはありませんでした。
Right, but in that case... There was only one girl I met during those visits when I was younger. Her shoulders trembled slightly. In that case, what were you talking about when you told me that I met you back then?
それは、
She hesitates to continue, and I can guess why. So it wasn't you? I still don't understand everything, but she must have had her reasons.
ごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。
It's fine. You must have had your reasons, right? I could tell from the face you made. Do you mind telling me? I can think about it afterwards.
私も、分かってはいたんです。いずれはこうなると。
I'm sorry. All of her body's strength seems to be leaving her.
実は私、昔から姉とは別々に暮らしていたんです。私は仕事で海外へ行くことも多い両親と一緒に。体の弱い姉は日本で暮らす祖母と一緒に。ですが私たち、本当に仲が良かったんですよ。私が日本に戻ってくると、姉は私の話を楽しみにいつも待ってくれていて。
She smiles like she's starting to feel a bit better now that she's talking about her sister.
そんな姉ですが、一度だけ私の話よりも先に自分の話をしてくれたことがあるんです。お友達ができたというお話でした。
I guess that friend was me.
はい。最初は私も姉が私を心配させないようとっさについた嘘じゃないかとも思いました。ですがそれ以降、姉は前向きな性格になりました。そして、私たちも恋を知る年になると、あの人に、はじめさんにも好きな人はいるのかな、と、姉は元気になって、はじめさんに告白する気満々だったんですよ。
I see. But But unfortunately, she never got that opportunity.
その後はおそらく、はじめさんが察している通りです。姉は、その願いを叶えることも、もう一度はじめさんに会うことすらできないまま、最後を迎えました。
Sorry. I don't know what to say.
いえ、いいんです。それで、ここからは、私にも関係のある話なんですが、はじめさんにとっては、少し、不快な内容が含まれるかもしれません。
So she's asking for my permission to continue. That's fine. I want you to tell me everything, especially if it's about you.
はい。では、姉が亡くなった時、私はとても意地汚い人間になりました。
What do you mean?
姉は、はじめさんへの思いを伝えたくても伝えられなかった。きっと辛かったと思います。だから、あんな風に手紙に残したんだと思います。なのに、二宮はじめという男性は、そんな姉の無念も、思いも知らないまま、何食わぬ顔で毎日を過ごしている。それが許せなかったんです。
Yeah, I saw that coming.
もちろんそんなのは八つ当たりでしかない。それは分かってました。それでも、なんとかして姉の気持ちをはじめさんに伝えたかった。そんな素敵な人がいたんだと知ってほしかったんです。
And that's why you pretend to be your sister? And what about your name? You're still Kasumi, right?
はい。私はかすみです。はじめさんに思い出してもらうため、体が弱いというところだけは偽ってしまいましたが、姉が大好きだと言ってくれた私を、私自身が偽ることは、姉もきっと喜びませんから。
So basically, it's kind of funny that she's called Kasumi. Since we all know, what was her sister's name again? Hold on. Sumire and Kasumi, there we go. It is kind of funny that this is the plot going on, and it's basically Sumire and Kasumi light. What? God dang it. Fucking poetry in motion, I suppose. I don't fucking know. That's good to know. Thanks. That was all I needed to know. As long as Kasumi has been herself around me, all the time we spent together is real. Thinking about it that way might be naive of me, but how can I help it? I just love her. Thinking about it like this, picking her actually is technically extremely fucking insensitive. Since this does insinuate that she basically only confessed to him to make him remember her sister. So at the time of the confession, there's a high probability that she didn't actually like him, while all the other girls did like him. That's why she wasn't as bothered back then with him getting confessed to by so many girls. She just didn't actually have any romantic feelings for him. If I had to guess, the romantic feelings started around the point where the whole pendant thing happened. Anyways.
だからこそ、私は願ったんです。二宮はじめという男性が、どうしようもなく最低な人であってほしい。 姉はそんな人と結ばれなくてよかった。結ばれないことが姉のためであったと。
I can see how that sounds kind of mean.
だからですよ。はじめさんには私の誘惑に乗ってほしかった。乗ってくれればその時点で見切りはつけられたはずなんです。
That explains a
な
lot.
のにはじめさん全然悪い人じゃないんだもん。お姉ちゃんからもらったペンダントだって探してほしいなんて一言も言ってないのに探してくれて私に惚れさせて最後にはお姉ちゃんのこと話して後悔させようと思ってたのに、こんなのお姉ちゃんじゃなくても好きになっちゃうよ。
That's just who you are. I wipe her tears with my fingers and gently stroke her head. I don't know if this is the right thing to say now, but thanks. Because you did what you did, I was finally able to learn how your sister felt about me. Well, I guess I'd still have to apologize to her since I'm with you now.
はじめさんはいいんですか？
With what?
私ずっと嘘ついてこんなにひどいことも考えてたのに怒ってますよね。
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure myself. There's so many emotions swirling around in my head right now that it's hard to decide what to focus on. So, what do you want to do now, Kasumi? You've managed to achieve your initial goal. Depending on your answer, I might get upset with you. Though I doubt you'll actually go as far as breaking up with me.
私ははじめさんが大好きです。もっともっと一緒にいたいです。
For your sister's sake? She pauses before
お
answering.
姉ちゃんのことは本当に大切です。でもはじめさんと一緒の時だけはそんな気持ちも忘れるくらい幸せで、こんなの自分勝手だし都合が良すぎることだって理解しています。でもお願いします。私ははじめさんと一緒にいたいんです。本気であなたを好きになってしまったんです。
This very much, like this entire story just very much catapults her far up. Like my ranking now would actually be, you know what? I'm gonna put Kasumi on the same ladder, on the same status, on the same level as Yoshino now. After laying all her feelings bare, she stands up from the bed and bows deep. I truly am happy to have someone who loves me so dearly. And I'm in love with her too, so I can't imagine anyone but her at my side. Thanks. You're sorry for what happened with your sister, but I want to be with you too.
はじめさん、本当にいいんですか?
You fell in love with me, Kasumi, and I fell in love with you too. Even if those negative sides of you come out again, I'll still love you.
はい、ありがとうございます。
I never would have thought that she'd been harboring a secret like this. But I'm glad that we were able to discuss it together, and I feel like we've grown much closer to one another through this. I think we've settled the matter now.
はじめさん、
What is it?
こんなことお願いするなんて普通に考えたらおかしいことは分かってるんですが、一つだけ一生のお願いを聞いてもらえないでしょうか。
I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. I don't know what this is going to be about, but are you sure you want to use this once-in-a-lifetime favor now?
はい、私の分はここで使っても、いざという時ははじめさんに一生のお願いを使ってもらいますから。
So what do you want me to do? My response was so typical of hers that I can't help but smile. I assume her request is either related to our relationship or her sister. I'll decline. I'll decline once I hear it. I decide once I hear it, so just go ahead and say what it is.
ですね。 もしご迷惑でなければ、一度でいいので、お姉ちゃんに会ってもらえませんか？
You want me to visit your sister?
非常識なのは分かっています。ですが、どうしてもお姉ちゃんの願いを叶えてあげたいんです。
Right now, she gives me a firm look full of determination. She herself admitted that it sounded crazy, and I know she would suggest something like that as a joke. Actually, am I even allowed to visit another family's grave?
一般的には分かりません。ですが、お父さんたちも、こればかりは絶対に反対しないと思います。
When it comes to my relationship with Kasumi, I'm nothing more than the boyfriend. And furthermore, my relationship with her sister is practically non-existent. After hearing about her story from Kasumi, even in her final moments, she wanted to see me again. In that sense, I'm like an old friend of hers, so there's nothing too strange about visiting her grave. Alright, I'll go visit her.
本当ですか？
Where is it though? I have to stay overnight for it. If I have to stay overnight for it, I'll need to tell Yamabuki.
ここから近くです。山の方の景色のいい場所なんです。
Oh, in the mountains! Come to think of it, there was that time when Kasumi said she went to visit her grandmother and I smelled incense on her. Maybe she'd actually gone to her sister's grave by herself. By the way, do you mind if I keep the letter?
はじめさんが？
I missed, hold on. I accidentally dropped it while trying to pick it up, but it at least dropped to the back. Oh, whoops, sorry. You know, I know, I probably might not be too keen on... You probably might be too keen on your boyfriend keeping a love letter from another girl.
そんなこと思いません。むしろ、受け取ってもらえるのなら、お姉ちゃんも喜ぶと思いますし。でも、いいんですか？もういない人からの手紙ですよ。
However, I've gotta say that the naming scheme of Kasumi and Masumi is very fucking lazy. Well, since I'm visiting her grave, I feel like it'd be a little rude to get rid of it.
そういうことでしたら、ぜひ、受け取ってあげてください。
I feel like I've made a pretty bold promise with her. I agreed to visit the grave together, and then quietly sat close together until Kasumi returned to her room.
お待たせしました。はじめさんの準備さえ良ければ行きましょうか。
Today's the day that Kasumi and I are going to visit her sister's grave together. Kasumi said that I didn't have to wear mourning clothes. I just wore a normal outfit instead of a dark one. But when I do I give Kasumi this letter? When I read her sister's letter again yesterday, I remembered something. There was another letter in the envelope addressed to Kasumi.
どうかしましたか？
That's nothing. Let's go. I haven't read the other letter and don't know what it says, but I can still hand it to Kasumi later when we arrive there. It's a letter that hasn't found its way to her in all the time that's passed since her sister's death. We walk to the station and then take the bus for about 30 minutes. The terrain around us is all mountainous. I've never been here before. Since I have no outdoor hobbies, I've never had the chance to come to the mountains. Oh, is that a campsite? I imagine it gets pretty crowded here during summertime for camping and grilling and the like. Farther back you can see an outdoor kitchen and tables and benches.
この辺りは初めてですか？
I knew the mountains weren't far away, but I never really had a reason to come here. So, is the grave nearby?
はい。少し行ったところに霊園の入り口があります。
Good. Can have a look at the area later, so let's visit the graveyard first.
ちょっと、待ってもらえませんか？
I start walking, but she grabs my jacket. What is it?
はじめさんとお付き合いしてからも、一人で何度かお参りはしてました。でも今日は、お姉ちゃんが気持ちを伝えようとしてた人の恋人として、私がお墓の前に立つわけですから。
You feel guilty?
お姉ちゃん、どんな気持ちなのかなって。はじめさんと一緒にお参りするのが決まってからも、ずっと気持ちが固まらなくて、恨まれても仕方ないとは思ってるんです。
Can't possibly imagine how Kasumi feels, but understand that the guilt is weighing on her. What I'm about to say may not sound very nice, but it needs to be said. I chose you, Kasumi. No matter what your sister would think, it's my decision.
はい。ありがとうございます。
Squeeze. Walking forward to my side, she holds my hand and locks her fingers with mine. Right, you lead the way. We keep walking for a while, and when we're almost to the other side of the mountain, we see it. Giant Western-style gate, and behind it, something that looks like a memorial. It's a nice cemetery. Kasumi takes man, and we walk through the surprisingly spacious cemetery. Once we enter it, we just naturally stop talking to one another. We walk for around 10 minutes after going through the gate, and then Kasumi stops.
ここです。
So this is where Kasumi's sister rests. Hi there. I'm Ninomiya Hajime. Long time no see, I guess. This is our long-awaited reunion, and now I don't even know what to say. Thought a lot about what to say to her, but now that I'm actually standing in front of her grave, my head has gone blank. Anyways, I'm doing fine. Also, as you probably already know, I currently have the privilege of being in a relationship with Kasumi, your sister. Naturally, she's unable to give me an answer. Instead, I just hear trees rustle in the wind. I did get your letter, and I did read it. But I'm sorry, I left Kasumi, so I can't reciprocate your feelings. But I owed it to you to tell you that. Maybe I'm just being hypocritical, or doing it for my own self-satisfaction, or something similar. But even so, I feel like the only proper way to tell her this. I feel like the only proper way is to tell her this myself. So you don't have to worry about it. I'll make sure she's happy, I promise. Okay, I think that's all I need to say. Take a step back and softly push Kasumi forward.
今日は私の大切な人と一緒に来たよ。お姉ちゃんもよく知ってる人。ほら、嘘じゃなかったでしょ？私の大好きな人。
Shoulders tremble slightly. I can see I can't see her face, but I can imagine she's trying to keep her emotions from bursting out.
私今すごく幸せだよ。毎日楽しくて、たまにお姉ちゃんのことも忘れちゃうくらい。そのくらい、はじめさんって素敵な人なんだよ。
And Kasumi suddenly shoots a glance back at me.
怒ってる？そうだよね。だって、お姉ちゃんが狙ってた人だもん。好きな人は、しかも、相談に乗ってた妹に取られちゃったんだもん。普通、怒るよね。
There's gonna be something like a, since I'm gonna die anyways, I want you to go ahead and, find him, tell what happened, and, just gonna casually predict that Kasumi's probably gonna fall for him, and just don't feel guilty. Just fucking go for it. He's a goddamn stud muffin, you gotta go for it. By God, if you don't go for it, someone's gonna take him. She clenches her fist and starts shaking.
何か言ってよ。怒ってるなら怒ってよ。お 姉ちゃんの気持ち教えてよ。
I want to say something to her, but the person she wants right now is sadly not me. Could only provide her a limited amount of comfort.
いいの。私このまま、はじめさん話さないよ。後でダメって言ったって。結婚だってしちゃうかもよ。もう、私の話ばっかり聞かなくていいから。お姉ちゃんの話も聞かせてよ。
Kasumi? Right! Hi, Kasumi.
なんですか？
She turns around with an unnatural smile on her face. So I discovered something in that envelope from
手
before.
紙ですか？
Yeah. There was also a letter in there addressed to you. Did you know that?
私宛て？
Her reaction tells me that she probably didn't know anything about
ど
it.
ういう意味ですか？だってあれは、はじめさんへの手紙で。
I take the letter out of the envelope and give it to her. It's from your sister.
どうしてはじめさん宛ての封筒から。
That I don't know either. Sorry, to be honest, I noticed it when I first found the envelope, but I totally forgot about it until yesterday.
そうなんですか。
That's the truth. I had so many things to think about after picking up the envelope that I forgot all about it. I didn't look at the letter, of course. Go ahead and read it.
いいんですか？
Well, yeah, it's addressed to you after all.
そうですよね。
She holds her breath and takes a look at the letter.
かすみへ、この手紙を読んでるってことは、きっと二宮さんに会ったんだよね。ありがとう。私の気持ちを届けてくれて、本当に感謝だよ。でも、それとこれとは話が別です。まったく、私がいなくなってから勝手に会うなんてどういうこと？いくらかすみでも、そこばかりは感心しないな。なんてね、びっくりした。冗談だから安心して。それで、かすみ的にはどうだった？私の言った通り、素敵な人でしょ？もしかして、かすみも好きになっちゃった。バカ。だけど、ここからは真面目な話。かすみがもし二宮さんを好きになったなら、私に遠慮なんてしないこと。私はかすみのことが大好き。だからかすみには、絶対に幸せになってもらいたい。だから、かすみが幸せになるために私が邪魔なら、迷わず私のことは切り捨てること。だって、その時私はきっともういない。だから、遠慮なんてする必要ないんだから。かすみは、自分が幸せになることだけ考えて、それが、私からかすみへのお願い。いいかな？お姉ちゃんとの約束は、絶対に守ること。私はお姉ちゃんなのに、昔からかすみに何もしてあげられなかった。それどころか、かすみのお世話になってばっかりで、実はちょっと悔しかったんだよ。知らなかったでしょ。だからかすみ、最後くらい、私にお姉ちゃんらしいことさせてね。でも欲を言うなら、お姉ちゃんのおかげで二宮さんと出会えたってことは、感謝してくれると。本当に、バカだよ。あんな なこと考えなくなって。お姉ちゃんはお姉ちゃんなのに。
At this point, her eyes are filled with tears. Because of that, it's hard for me to say some
本
more.
当なら、幸せに過ごしてるかすみも、一度でいいから見たかったな。でも想像したら悔しかったから、やっぱり見なくてよかったかも。書きたいことはたくさんあるけど、それじゃキリがないから、前置きが長くなっちゃったけど、要するに私は、かすみの幸せをずっとずっと願っています。だからかすみは、一度しかない自分の人生を大切にしてね。元気でね、かすみ。バイバイ。お姉ちゃん。
After she finishes reading the letter, all the emotions she kept bottled up pour out all at once. Talking is hard.
はじめさん、手紙のこと、本当にありがとうございました。
Well, I wouldn't have noticed it if you didn't lose the envelope, so it's all just coincidence.
そうかもしれません。ですが、偶然でも、こうして全てが繋がったんですから。やっぱり私は、
Fuck.
はじめさんと出会う運命だったんだと思います。
Seems like you no longer feel guilty.
はい。私、決めましたから。お姉ちゃんが安心できるように、絶対に幸せになるって。
Alright. Just tell me if there's anything I can do, okay?
ありがとうございます。でも、今は必要ありませんよ。
ん？
だって、何もしなくても、はじめさんと一緒にいられるだけで、私はとても幸せなんですから。
No. What's the after story? After graduating, I went to university and immediately started working afterwards. Kasumi, on the other hand, went to a specialized school after graduating to become a fashion designer. Oh. That's something I learned of shortly after we became a couple. Before she came to Kenzikan, she'd already studied fashion design in New York. Oh. I had heard that she had lived with her parents overseas, but I was still surprised. It makes sense though, Kasumi's mother herself is a well-known fashion designer, even overseas. It's been about a year now since I started working. Kasumi already made her leap in the fashion industry. She also proposed to me, so we're now happily married. Yes! Sorry, I got a bit too happy there. Also, it's interesting that she's the one to propose. I actually do quite that. I do like that quite a bit. I think they got new tape there. Kasumi, I'm home.
はじめさん、会いたかったです。元気にしてましたか？おかわりありませんか？
Did I kiss you this morning before I went to work?
いえいえ、はじめさんにとっては半日でも、今日の私にとっては半年のように感じてしまうんですよ。
How crazy in love with me are you? Not that I don't appreciate it.
それはもう、 とてもじゃありませんが、言葉にするのもはばかられるくらいです。
I think I'd prefer an expression of love that can be said out loud, though. Alright, come here. Back, Kasumi.
おかえりなさい。
It really does feel like I'm truly at home. It really doesn't feel like I'm truly at home until I've gotten my kiss. Embrace her and plant the light kiss on her lips. I've gotten in the habit of sharing kisses in the morning when I go to work and when I get back in the evening. You're really giddy today, though. I hope she managed to stay calm at work.
そんなの当然です。だって今日は、私たちの最初の結婚記念日なんですから。
Your smile is so bright that it's almost contagious. What were you doing just now, though?
記念日ですからね。たまには手料理を振る舞おうとお料理をしてたんです。
Seriously? God, it's been so long! The last time she cooked, the last time she cooked was for my birthday, and she made paella and Spanish omelets, among other things. I'm super excited. I'm happy you're cooking for me, but try not to hurt your hands, alright? They are very important work assets for you.
そこまで不器用じゃありませんから大丈夫ですよ。
So she says. Since someone is overly protective of her, constantly nagging at me to make sure she doesn't hurt herself. That isn't Kasumi's mom, but my own. Alright, anything I can do to help?
そうですね。では、テーブルの準備をしてもらえますか？
You got it. Should we put up some candles too, maybe?
あ、いいですね。職場でお祝いにお花をもらったので、それも飾りましょうか。
Alrighty.
でもその前に、お料理ができるまではまだ少しかかるので、先に着替えてからでもいいですよ。というか、せっかくの記念日ですから、スーツは NG です。
Well, I guess a fashion designer would be picky about outfits, huh?
そうですよ。旦那さんをかっこよくコーディネートしちゃうのも奥さんの務めですから。それとも、お着替え手伝ってあげましょうか？
I'm fine. Take care of the food, Chef Kasumi.
デザイナーだったり、シェフだったり、私も随分忙しいですね。
Which is why I'm so proud of my wonderful wife. I should probably put on something that'll match her outfit. Maybe I should take a bath before changing, though.
それはダメです。
Why not?
今日は一緒に入るって決めてたんですから。
What? Really? Last time we bathed together, I got too horny and we had sex, which resulted in both of us getting really, really dizzy. Ever since then, she's forbidden me from bathing with her.
何ですか？私とお風呂は不満ですか？
I like how they actually address the fact that, yes, hot water, rigorous exercise, not gonna work too well. Oh no, on the contrary, I would drop to my knees and beg you for it.
まったく、今日だけは特別ですよ。特別に何をしても許してあげます。
Anything? There's so much I want to do. Also, if it's only for the day, then I have a time limit of a few hours.
そうですね。例えば、はじめさんは赤ちゃん欲しくないですか？
Baby!
もしはじめさんが欲しいと言ってくれれば、今夜は私も頑張っちゃいます。
Well, life would be more fun with some kids, I agree. I don't want to bring up the topic now, since we're both so busy with work and whatnot.
遠慮しなくていいんですよ。
I guess she's trying to indirectly tell me. Do you want a kid, Kasumi?
バレちゃいましたね。
Are you serious though? You're pretty busy with work nowadays.
はい。もちろん仕事と育児の両立は簡単ではないこともわかってます。ですが、ベビー服のデザインだってできるようになりますし、生まれてくる子に 絶対寂しい思いはさせません。だって、はじめさんとの赤ちゃんですし、可愛くて仕方ないに決まってますから。
She's really making it hard for me to say no. Maybe she's been thinking about this for a while now. Guess I'll have to work even harder so I can support both of you.
あらあら、はじめさん。
What is it?
二人というと、それでは、子供は一人だけということになってしまいますよ。
You want two?
いえ、三人くらいいてもいいかなと、個人的には思ってます。
My mother would like to have a word with you. No, it's not. Especially since all three are just devils incarnate.
一人目は女の子で、次が男の子。その次は女の子がいいですかね。
You sure got it planned out. By God, he's got this whole thing planned out already.
生まれてくる子も一人よりはきっと兄弟がいた方が嬉しいと思いますから。
He's a cute guy. I've watched too much JFJ. Siblings. After we visited her sister's grave that day, Kasumi stopped talking about that topic. Of course, I knew that she hadn't forgotten about her. She just wanted to take her sister's word to heart and move on. And just like she wanted, Kasumi's now... And just like she wanted, Kasumi's now as happy as can be. How do I know that? Well, I think anyone would agree if they saw her smile. Alright, I'm gonna do my best to be the best father I can be. You can count on it, Kasumi. I need to study up on dad jokes.
そんなはじめさんを私はずっと応援してますから。
Honest to God, I dread the day when I, at some one point, have a wife and kids. That's a big if, though. That's a very, very big if. Because, by God, I can just see that those kids are going to be, like, I would be the father, so you can imagine what the kids are probably going to be like. Absolute fucking chaos.
頑張ってくださいね、お父さん。
So, yeah, we'll have to check back after the Vandis comes out. But for now, Kasumi actually has catapulted herself into, like, first spot with Yoshino under her. So, that's actually kind of impressive. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and next time we're gonna go through all the routes again, and by that I mean just all the confessions again, and see how the scenes change if you have them call you instead of texting them. So that's what we're gonna be doing next time, and till then, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I sure as hell fucking enjoyed this game. There's basically already the game over, so basically I'm just gonna do the whole spiel of, hey, this is the last part. So yeah, personally fucking adored it. Story is not good, however the characters are good, and I do like some good characters. Like, the characters really saved the game, honestly. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I sure as fucking hell did. See you next time. Bye-bye.